You have previously seen how to pass data to child components by using the props property. Apart from this, you can actually also pass HTML markup by using something called slots. Let's dive straight into the code and see how it works. I have added a new component named contact in advance, which displays a form for contacting the site owner. This form includes inputs for the user's name, email address, and a text area for the message. This component has been added to the front page, but imagine that it has also been added to various other pages. And now my boss tells me that he wants to display a text at the bottom of the form, but only on the front page. Since the form is displayed on various different pages, this needs to be dynamic. I could of course pass in the message as a property, but I want to make it even more dynamic, because what if my boss asks me to also add some other markup next week? For this, I can add a so-called slot within the contact component. This is as easy as using the slot tag, which is a reserved tag that you can use within component templates. This element will be replaced by some content that we specify when using the component. So let's see the other side of it within the app.vue file. So within the contact components tag, I can simply add any HTML markup that I would like, and the slot element within the component is then replaced by this content. In this case, I'll just add a paragraph saying please do not submit any sensitive information. And opening up a browser, we can see the message being displayed at the bottom. Note that within the elements that are nested within the component tag, we can use string interpolation, computer properties, and anything else we learned so far. But when doing so, it's important to note that the scope is the parent component. In this case, this means that we would have to use data properties, methods, etc. within the app component. Also note that the CSS styles of the child component does match the markup that we pass into a slot. So if you want to style this markup, then you should do so within the child component. Let's just try to remove this message that I added just for a moment. I'll add it again later, so I'll just cut it for now. Even though we haven't specified any content for the slot, our code still works, except that no message is displayed, of course. But if I go to the contact component again, we can actually add some default content for the slot. This is done by simply nesting markup within the slot element, which then acts as the slot's default content. This content will be used if none was passed where the component was used. So let's add a paragraph saying we will respond within 2 business days. And since I just removed the message, we should now see the default message being output on the page. And if I undo the deletion of the message within the app component, you will see that this content overrides the default content. So that's how you can pass markup to a child component in order to make components more flexible.